All right, everyone, and welcome to the August Nutrition Coordinators meeting. Hope you're all doing well. We'll go ahead and start with, wasn't quite sure who was on first, but for our group round the horn discussion, well, we'll start east and work our way west. So I know Allison, I think she may be on or is not on. She sent me a message, but I know that Caitlin's on, so we can start with Enowa.
Good afternoon. I recently attended the Meals on Wheels America conference, and one of the takeaways that we came back with was that we have a lot of clients that start and then they stop really quickly and they're not on for very long. So one takeaway we had from the conference was to send out a survey to those that are ending within like a 30-day period to see how we can improve to hopefully get more clients to stay on for longer. Other than that, we're plugging along. We got out our frozen meals for Labor Day today, and we're slightly seeing an increase, but still not what we have been in numbers.
Very good. Awesome. And what was the conference again this year? Was it in Phoenix again?
Baltimore.
Baltimore this year. Okay, that's right. Baltimore. Very cool. Well, great. That's good to hear, Caitlin. That's awesome. Any questions for anybody at the Eastern Nebraska Office on Aging?
I'm here too, Eric.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you are. I'm sorry. I had a note from you that said you were going to be
Yes.
late or something, so I apologize.
No, that's fine.
But I see you on there now.
For congregate in our senior centers, we are just about to post our October, December menus. I compared last July's with this July's, and right now, this July, we did 6,615 meals with 967 unrepeated clients. And last year we did 613 and 192 clients. So we're up 602 meals and up 55 people. We're getting ready for a walkathon, and just right now, really working hard to get our policies and procedures and area plan updated with the new information.
Very nice. Wow, very good. Yeah, the walkathon's coming up, and hopefully the weather is nice, and hopefully it stays nice. So, well, very good. Awesome. Any questions for Allison or Caitlin at Enowa? All right. If not, actually, I think we're gonna just skip around. We're gonna skip around today because I don't really know who was on first or whatever. So we'll just skip around. And how about we'll go to Aeon, and I see Samantha is on. Hello, Samantha.
Hi. Oh, sorry, I was late.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're just in time.
Things are going well. We're just preparing for monitoring. All that fun stuff. I can't really think of anything really new. Just need to use the nice weather as a time to visit nutrition sites and make those rounds. Overall, I think things are going very well. The merge with Hay Springs and Chadron, and then Gordon and Rushville, has been good. We are in Chadron, we're kind of doing something unique. There's one of the local soup kitchens, and they have a large amount of underage folks that are needing meals in the community, and they don't have the staff to provide them. So what they're doing is giving folks tokens and then paying for their meals. So our numbers there have grown significantly, which is nice to be able to partner with, another agency and be able to help. So that's been kind of neat and something new for us to navigate. Aside from that, I mean, things are going well. To go still very favored in our area. A lot of folks use it, especially a lot of underage folks in the smaller communities. So that's cool. I mean, kind of bridging a gap there.
Exactly.
Aside from that, I don't think anything's really really new. Just we're settled in and we're excited to get monitoring over with. Excited to see you guys. And I know that we have some meetings coming up where I think all the nutrition coordinators and other folks are going to be here. So that will be fun. We're preparing for that. And yeah, that's really it.
Awesome. Hey, that's great. Yeah, we look forward to visiting you guys in your new office and coming out there. So, yep, look forward to it. Be here before you know it. And so yeah, already September next week. It's pretty quick coming up. Very good. Well, that's good to hear. New services, new things, new partnerships and whatnot. Anybody have any questions for Samantha at Aon? All right. If not, oh, Carmen, you're on. Hello. Oh, I see Rachel too. I'm sorry, Rachel, I see you and Carmen, but we'll go Carmen and then we'll do Rachel. So take it away, Carmen.
Wow, is that because I entered late? I get the second
Oh,
one out of the slot there.
I
Um,
suppose so. I'm kind of slow just seeing who's on right now.
That's okay. I had a little computer glitch. Had to have my techie person come and help me. Right now, we're just kind of plugging away here. We're looking to get bingo sites started in the month of September. We are working on that. We are working right now, big push for our Big Give Gauge, which is our big county giving to get things going on that. That'll take place September 12th. So we're working for a nothing on the nutrition side this year, but a van. Let's see, we have, I don't know, is Carla on here? I'm just trying to think what else we have going. Having a few glitches with our Wymore site, but we're ironing those out. We have moved to a small little location that they are willing to work with us at no cost, which is amazing, and just use it as our drop-off spot. And working on some more volunteers down there, and just trying to keep up with the heat and keep the meals going. Our numbers still remain fairly smooth. I don't know. Carl, do you have anything else that you could add? I'm going to double check my calendar here. The month of August has just been fairly, well, I'll say fairly easy, but I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or not. I think
I was
that's
going to
about
say
it.
that we're going to be working with a PACE at one of our locations,
Oh yeah.
which is the old Region 5, where they're going to have 10 of their clients in our facility in Falls City, and we're going to be interacting and working with them, and we're kind of interested to see where that's going to go. So.
Very nice. Very good. Well, that sounds excellent. And that's great that they're able to adjust and you're able to work with them a little bit, just considering the circumstances or whatever. But that's awesome. Well, good news. Well, hey, if it's been a little quiet, that's okay too. Just, Very good. Any questions for Carmen at Blue Rivers? Carmen or Carla at Blue Rivers? All right. If not, we'll move on then to Rachel at Midland.
Hello, everybody. This month flew, and nothing too over the top or over crazy, but it's just been really busy. We've had staff taking vacation and some bereavement time off, and so there's been a lot of covering over the last month. We also hired a couple of new employees that I've been training at a senior center, and it's both positions at a senior center, so there's no having someone else to train the other person. It's being there a lot of the time to just get the processes down. And at that same senior center, they're getting a parking lot put in instead of a rock parking lot. And in the process, they've managed to zap all the electric in the building and fried the air conditioners and while they were roofing. They covered a vent hole for the hot water heater. And I mean, it has just been one debacle after another. And so when that parking lot gets done and things are normal-ish again there, it'll be wonderful because it brings it's something new every day. It's very exciting. While I've been covering at a few places, though, I actually got to do some bingo size classes. So that really makes me happy because although I am one of the biggest advocates for it, I don't get to do it as often as I want to. So when I get to get down and have some fun, I really enjoy that. I've been doing some home delivered meal quality calls, just talking with people, seeing if they're happy with their service and just touching base with how things are going. And then we've been preparing for Senior Center Month, which is next month. And so we've kind of broke down the connections theme that they posted this year into a different idea each week. And so our first week, we're doing resource connections where community resources can come in and talk. And our ADRC program will talk to them to talk about what's available. And then a generational connection where younger generations are connecting at the senior center. So some places have fifth graders coming over and playing board games, and some places have preschoolers coming over and doing crafts. So that'll be kind of neat. And then we have healthy connections where every center will have a bingo sized mini session is what we're calling them before the meal. And different, physical therapists will come and do little exercises and things like that. And then we're doing open houses at most of our sites that final week for the community connection to hopefully get community members to come in and take a peek and see all the things that are offered in their community for the seniors.
Wow, that's busy. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, that's a lot. Well, and that's great with bingo size too. Just, getting that kind of spread out and then being able to do it is really cool because it's just one thing that you can pick up on and it's easy to implement. So,
Yeah.
great. Yeah, that's absolutely wonderful. Great. Well, Rachel, you'll be able to answer any questions people have for bingo size. Call Rachel. Oh man. And how do you cover event? How do you cover event for a? How do you cover event? Like, how do you do it? What do you?
And it's like a professional roofing company.
What are you doing there?
Commercial buildings. Like, I don't know. And the fact that the utility people zapped the entire building.
That's frustrating. Oh my
On
goodness.
a positive note,
Yeah.
none of the replacement of the treadmills, things that were all plugged in.
We're okay.
No, they're not okay, but it's
they're
not
not
going to be our
okay.
responsibility. So we might get some new equipment out of it.
Wow, it really. Oh boy, so it didn't just cut the power.
It popped the whole building.
Wow, that's really not good. Oh my goodness.
Luckily no one was in the building.
Yeah.
It was early morning, but it was just, yeah. Anything that can delay it has delayed it.
Yep. I guess before you dig or before you decide to cut something, maybe what's it called? 811? What is it? I can't remember. But yeah. It's gotta be a little bit smarter.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds like you're busy. Well, very good. Any questions for Rachel at Midland? Awesome. Thank you very much. If not, who would be up then? I've got do we have Sue? I see Sue's right here. Sue at Sue Hutzel at South Central.
Yeah. Nothing exciting like Rachel had, and I'm thankful for that. Sometimes I think the home life is kind of like that, but other than that, one can think positive that maybe you will get some good new stuff out of the deal. But wow, never a dull moment at Midlands. You can keep it there too, Rachel. But anyway, things are just pretty simple here at South Central. I really like her idea on the different planning connections. Every week we just sent out just basic information about Senior Center month. And then also just kind of like it was like back to school, back to the Senior Center, and then just commenting on our Facebook page about how many meals totally that we did, and were you part of those, and just, you know, letting them just that type of thing. Been traveling a little bit, but not as much. I'm hoping to get that to get more out more before the weather does change. Been busy with the farmers market. I did get all those out in a day and a half that you sent, Eric, and I did even get those on the computer. I can't say I got everything else on the computer, but I did get those that you sent me on, so that's a positive note. Also been busy with the blood pressure hubs, making good progress with Minden, and Holdridge she's been out of the country, so we'll see how much we get done there, but it'll be nice to have, you know, those in place. So that'll be Minden and Holdridge coming up. Other than that, just really can't complain too much here. So
Very good. Awesome. Well, that sounds good. Yep. And yeah, I'm scared travel will, you know, obviously probably change here when weather changes. And so, yeah, for sure.
it might. It seems like it might be an early fall from what the people say, but
Could
time will
be.
tell.
Could be. Yeah. We'll just kind of stay tuned and see what happens. But it's been kind of a weird
Yep.
August. For sure. Well, thank you so much, Sue. Yeah, awesome. Any questions for
You're welcome.
Sue at South Central? All right. If not, I see Jill is on. Jill at Aging Partners. Do you want to go next, Jill?
Sure. Yeah, I'm sorry I'm a little bit late.
Oh, you're good.
I just got back from a county monitoring visit to Saline County. So we went to Wilbur and where did we go? DeWitt today, and we're almost done. We went to Fillmore County yesterday. So it's always good to get out there and just talk with the managers and the county program managers and just see how things are going. And to-go meals are going, still continue to go strong, especially in Fillmore County. That's been going really well. They've really looked at the to-go meals as a outreach into getting some of the local residents under 60, and then those just right above that 60 to 65 who are still working. So it's been really good for Fillmore County in that aspect. Other than that, things are going good. We are hosting a Living Well with Chronic Conditions here in a couple of weeks. So right now we have 12 people signed up already. So it'll be a full class, which is great. On words with some of our home delivered meal contract providers, as well as the Asian Community Center. So that's going good. Other than that, I think things are just kind of staying steady. We did, for our Tabitha Meals on Wheels program here in Lincoln, we did implement a home delivered meal prioritization for clients on the wait list. We implemented a tool that was found on the ACL website. So that's been helping to identify clients in the greatest need for that program. So other than that, I think everything has been pretty much going along pretty steady. So
Awesome. Very good. Well, great. Yeah, that's good to hear. That's a lot happening. That's a lot. So very good. And I think we're monitoring you guys after, I believe, AM, so October. So
yep.
Yeah, that'd be great. Awesome. Any questions for Jill at Aging Partners? All right. Do I see Lori from Northeast or anybody from Northeast?
Hi,
It may not-
Eric. Yeah, this is Connie.
Oh, there you are,
and then-
Connie. Oh,
and
okay,
then-
there you are. Okay.
And Lori's here with me.
Oh, okay. I just wasn't sure who was on the.
Yep, we're both here.
Okay. Hello.
Hello. So yeah, it's been busy with the new fiscal year, starting our monitoring as well of our senior centers. One of the things we're planning is we're doing a senior center training that will include not only the center managers, but we're bringing in up to 3 board members of the center to attend this training. So we've got a number of different speakers, including we're bringing in a labor law attorney that's going to be talking Employment 101. And it's going to be about the hiring and firing process and just some basics that boards need to be aware of. What questions they can ask, what questions you do not want them to ask. Especially in a small town, as we all know, everybody knows everybody. And so there's a comfort level that they think they can ask some things. And I have just cringed when I've been a part of some of that. Is that you guys are shaking your head? You certainly understand. Then we're going to be talking about the contracts that we have with them, the highlights of them from the nutrition services, the supportive services, the nutrition and fiscal monitoring and what to expect with that. And then we'll finish up talking about center board responsibilities. What is their responsibility as a board member? And then I'm going to finish up with talking about myths from the senior center. Because a lot of times we get questions about, hey, we heard that we can't do this. And I'll give you an example. One of the centers several years back said, I heard that the area agency said we can't do brunches, that we are not allowed to do a brunch. Now, where they got that information, I don't know. So we're going to be, all those questions that I've gotten over all these years, kind of combining that and then answering their questions so that they have that information for to move forward. So looking for a fun day. We're expecting about 160 people. So we'll be very busy.
Wow, that is a lot of people. And that's great. You have speakers lined up and people to kind of give some information and do some Q&A maybe. And that's great. That sounds really neat. That's vital information that they can all use, and especially like with the interview questions and whatnot. So, because yeah, I never know what people are going to ask. Very good. Well, thank you so much. Any questions for Northeast? Sounds pretty good. All right, and then Valerie is the new nutrition coordinator at West Central in North Platte, and we just visited them last week. So it was, sorry, it was her 3rd day or so on the job. So I I gave her a lot of information, but I'll let her introduce herself and yeah.
Hi, my name is Valerie Perez. As Eric said, I'm at the West Central location, and it's okay if you information dumped on me. I'll take all the information I can get. So it's nice to hear from all of you guys, and hopefully I'll learn from all of you as well. So I started as a receptionist January 2nd, and then I've been kind of transitioning into this position here. So don't have too much of an update as I'm still learning, but I'm excited to connect with you guys and then connect with the communities and the senior centers as well. So
Awesome. Well, very good. Well, welcome aboard, Valerie, again. And I kind of, when I was visiting with Valerie last week, I kind of talked you guys up to just as a resource for her as well. So, because you guys have a lot of great experience and you all are doing some awesome work. So I just kind of talked you guys up with her, and I just said, hey, reach out to them and ask questions and whatnot. So yeah, so thanks again, Valerie, and thank you all again for being excellent resources as well. So very cool. All right. Any questions for West Central? All right. All right. Well, if not, I did want to go over just a couple things regarding farmers market stuff. And then once I'm done with that, if you guys have any other follow-up questions or whatever to discuss, feel free. That's definitely your time. So I received a call yesterday from Nolan at Department of Ag, and they have been working. He's more or less, I think, now in charge and working with how to kind of move this QR code central bank stuff forward to make it a little bit more user friendly, sort of. He was saying that, yeah, sometimes the homegrown benefit website isn't the easiest to use, and they're still working on this thing. It's kind of like building an airplane while flying it. It's just, I think that they're trying to make adjustments and whatnot. But one of the things that he did tell me was that they have been having some trouble with, and I know it's a lot of work, and I explained to him the whole process of how, we send things out, and it's man hours and putting in all this information into the computer. He was saying they've had some trouble with individuals who are using the QR codes, and if they hadn't been entered in yet, people were trying to scan them and it hadn't matched up to a client. So that doesn't mean they're not valid, but they can still, take them to the bank and get them cashed. But still, it's just making sure that they get entered and have some sort of activation. So what he said was basically, if you're still entering in your data, keep entering it in, get that done, and then try to get your pages with, basically he's looking for sign up pages. So you'll have your client next to your QR codes, and when you have those pages all filled out, they're the client list basically. Try to get those back ASAP. If you want to scan them too, you can do that. It doesn't have to necessarily be in the mail. You can scan them and send them however you want to do it. Whatever's the quickest and cheapest, honestly. And you can send that in. And I have to get that to Nolan, because what they're going to do is they're going to try to take those clients and sort of verify them so that potentially next year, before the farmers market even starts or before everything starts, like at the beginning of next year, they're going to try to put those clients and have them active in the system already. So I think it's going to, and I don't know, they're still trying to figure out what they're going to do. He's still trying to work with it. And I'm sure we'll have a meeting or so prior to next year. But he's trying to work with central bank and trying to make things flow a little bit easier. So like I said, the take-home message, really, the 2 points he had that he told me over the phone were, number one, if you're entering stuff into the system still, keep entering it in to get those complete, and then try to get us either in the mail or scanned materials that like has like the sign up sheet. It has a sheet with the name and the QR code next to it. Try to get those in, and they're going to try to get those, I think, preloaded in advance to next year, so that they can have those people already active.
So do you mean our entire packet that we usually send back, or just this customer list?
Well, if you can send the whole packet back, you can scan it if you want to and send it in to me in an email in a PDF if you want to do it that way. Or if you want to send it in the mail, that's fine too. But I know normally those kind of get sent in throughout the year up until, next year. But he's looking to try to get those in a little bit sooner.
Eric, do you want that? Because when is the paperwork due to you by?
Well, it's usually September. Yeah.
Like mid-September.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think if you guys could, I mean, if you have it all filled out, if you have everything already completed, I guess the best thing to do is like I said, if you want to save money and you want to scan it and send it to me, then that's easier for me too, because then I could just send him the PDFs and kind of have them organized. So if you want to do that, that's fine. I'm not 100% on all of this too. He's kind of trying to figure it out right now. But what I'm aware of right now is that just if you're entering your information and just keep doing that, and then try to get us the paperwork a little bit sooner because they need to. I think they want to try to verify some of the people that are in the system and then get them sort of like as like a placeholder or something in homegrown benefits, so that I think what he's trying to do is next year he said that they wanted to try to already have those clients already set up in the system. So it's kind of a mix of different things. That's basically all I know for right now. I'm sure I'll find out more information and he's going to keep me up to date on what they're going to do going forward. But I did explain to him, like, it's a whole process, and it's hard because it's not just the coupons this year, but when you get the coupons, then you also have to enter all this information in the computer, and that's not something that you were originally set up for and didn't have separate positions for, and it takes a lot of extra hours and time to do that. And they're aware of that. But again, that's nothing that we had a choice in doing. So that's kind of where we're at right now with that. So anyways, I guess take home message is just keep entering them in as you have been, and then whenever you get a chance to send that in, you can either scan it, you can scan the return material to me, or send it in the mail, however you want to do it. And if I'm monitoring like soon and you just want to give it to me, then that's fine. But probably try to get it in. I don't know. He didn't give me a time frame, but it sounded like he wanted to try to do it as soon as possible. But I know with people, since this is all spread out so much, it's not as easy as it looks. So, sometime this fall, if we could try to get it in to him. Any questions on that? Okay. And you all have his contact information too. So if you have questions for Nolan too, you can reach out to him. He's pretty transparent. He's pretty approachable. And, just if you have questions for him, call him up or email him. Okay. All right. Well, I know farmers market saga continues with lots of different obstacles and hoops to jump through, but it's definitely a very much appreciated program, and you guys have done a really amazing job in just kind of rolling with some of the things that come your way on that. So appreciate that. All right. Well, that's all I have to say about the farmers market stuff. Any questions? Anything that you guys can think of?
Hi, Eric. This is Connie. So I had a phone call, a voicemail left after lunch today. So they must have known I had a nutrition coordinator meeting because it was perfect timing. So this person called and I think she talked to the center, but anyway, the family had, as she says, put money down for the balance of the meals in advance for their dad to get Meals on Wheels. And he recently went to the nursing facility. So her question was, so the center never called her back about that contribution. And she goes, I understand. Everybody's telling me it's a contribution. It's a contribution. But they didn't call her about what did we want to do with that contribution? Couldn't it transfer to someone else? Or couldn't it even be given back to the family? So it was a long email, or excuse me, voicemail. And so I need to call her back.
Yeah. Well,
go ahead.
Like, so okay, so they basically they want to know if they get the money back.
I think so.
Okay.
Even though she didn't really say that, she kind of said that.
Yeah, I figured. Well, yeah, first of all, I think with some of the programming is, number one, if the individual is no longer living in their own home, I guess one of the things that I guess from the programming standpoint is, you know, in making the suggested contribution, it's always, good. It's always good that it's always vital that they have the person or the client, the eligible individual, aware of what's being made in with the contribution and making sure that that individual participates in the giving of the contribution. And so, if like he receives something in the mail saying this is his suggested contribution, and then, he had some say in giving it because that's his, suggested contribution, um, that itself is something that he would, verify and agree with because, that's why we do the verification statements and the suggested contributions because he's saying, yes, I want this to cover, even if it comes from, honestly, even if the money comes from somewhere else, he's still able to give the contribution from himself to the area agency, to the senior center. So that, I suppose, that act of giving the contribution in confidence is one thing where I don't know, was he aware at all of this transaction, or I shouldn't say transaction, contribution, or was it just money they gave?
I believe he was aware of it, but to be honest, I haven't talked to her. It was just this message left to me that was long. So I, again, should never assume anything. I'm assuming that he was aware of that because, he wanted to get the Meals on Wheels, but now is in the nursing facility. So
Right, something happened and he had to
yes,
move out. Yeah.
yes.
Well, I think one of the things that the thing that's hard about that is that if he wanted to give that contribution and was aware and had the autonomy to give it, that's one thing. And as long as he's not coming back and saying, I mean, it's really got to come from him. It's got to come from, these are meals for him, and it is a contribution, and they need to they would have to be aware of that to know that, this isn't something that you can have to pay in full, and that the eligible individual has to be a participant within that money to be given. So I guess, unfortunately, the thing about it is that with it being confidential, with it being, having to involve the eligible individual and their willingness to give the contribution, I don't know.
So Eric, this is Ben, I mean, if someone normally provides a contribution for a home delivered meal, they send it in the mail, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, basically what would happen here is.
So couldn't he just do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't know. It's almost like I don't know enough. Is this something that the family gave in the mail? I don't know. I'd have to know enough about it, because if they gave it to them in the mail and like this check was signed by the family and the eligible person had no idea that it happened, and then they're just wanting their money back.
Wait, I'm sorry, who's wanting their money back?
The family.
Oh, I misunderstood.
Yeah, not the individual. So like
Eric,
yeah.
this is Cheryl. So we've run across this many, many times,
Mm-hmm.
and because it's a contribution, and it's confidential, we don't know what the amount is. We don't know how many meals he had or she had. From the time they gave the contribution until today, we just are like, I'm sorry, we don't track anything, so there's nothing that we can do.
Yeah, I think that's probably right. And honestly, thank you, Cheryl. I think that that's probably what the answer is, because I'm now trying to split hairs here and thinking about where it would come from, but I think it all goes back to, like you said, Cheryl, the eligible individual. It all goes back to basically the language that's written about giving a suggested contribution. And so, since there's no invoice or price attached to, a bottom line price that says this is due, then yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that's the answer.
Eric, this is Carmen. We've also had the same issue, and we just treat it as a donation, and we move on. We don't even, we're a lot like Cheryl. We just don't even, we can't since we aren't able to track it, we just count it as a contribution and say that was a donation, and we'd like to let you know that this donation will go on to help other people that can't afford it.
Yeah, for sure. Excellent answers. Wow, very good. That is excellent. Connie, does that help a little bit?
Sorry. Yes, it does help.
Okay.
It'll be interesting when I call her if she's able to share a little bit more about it. But then, absolutely, this is kind of what I was expecting as far as a response. But I just wanted to run it by you. Perfect timing, because we had a meeting today.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great, because yeah, it can be kind of a difficult situation if it's a family member asking for money and you're like, well, how was it given? Was it given in the mail? Was it given to the participant? And did they sign? I mean, what were some of the more finer details on that? And then thank you, Carmen and Cheryl, for adding in and having had dealt with that situation. I think that's the answer. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? That's an interesting situation. I mean, that's not an easy one, especially when you're dealing with people who are not the client and not the eligible individual, and they're coming at you with questions about money. It can be heated. Any other questions? Things you can think of? If not, you'll get 10 minutes back on your day. Actually, I'm sorry, you'll get like more than that.
Eric, I have something, but I got to look at something first because
Okay.
I do have something big, but I gotta find it because I wrote it down somewhere.
That's all right.
Let me get into my computer here.
Yeah, take your time.
Bonnie, you might help me here.
Yeah, take your time.
And I know this might not be the place, but have you, Eric and Ben, talked with Josie about in our directors meeting, we asked if we could have a meeting maybe in October, a before we start working on the annual plan. Have you guys talked about that at all?
We have not officially landed on anything right now. As far Ben or Josie, we have not officially landed on anything in our schedule at the moment.
We are, though, looking at dates probably in October, just trying to find a space and a date, because I know that was something that was expressed, to have something in person to go over questions. We appreciate some of the questions that have already come in, and we'll send those out as soon as we can. We'll also go over them in that meeting, but we are going to have something. We just haven't figured out when. So is there like a I don't even know if you would know right now a better date in October or week. Maybe I should go with. We should go with. Or be thinking about that for our meeting in a couple weeks.
That's
Okay.
true. Yes, and I will be at that meeting as well, the one on the 10th. So I'll zoom in and see if you guys have further questions, and we'll send back your questions to your letter too, very soon. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
those,
that's
yeah,
what I was trying to find was
yeah,
my,
those are being answered right now.
Okay.
We'll do that. Those are done in letter format, and then also we'll do, if you have questions, follow up. Yeah, please just let us know. I mean, we're open to anything, and I definitely know with regs and stuff. This is stuff that honestly, even Ben and I have kind of put our heads together on some things, and we think pretty critical on, and we're like, well, what about this? Well, what about that? What about this? What about that? And so, yeah, you're not alone in thinking some of these new things and how they'll affect services and whatnot.
right.
So,
With the new
yeah,
regs coming out, there's just a lot of questions. But
yeah.
so for INSEP, can you send us a new form? Because the one I'm sending in is still from 2022 or 21.
Oh, for
And
the
you
INSEP
can't
form?
change actual INSEP form because I can't change the year on it. It'll let me change the month, but yeah, I hate that.
How did we fix that last? I feel like that's been an issue before. How did
It
we?
has. It's been an issue for many, many
I think it's locked.
years.
It's locked is what's
Yes.
happening. So okay, yeah, I'll make it. I'll make a
So if
note.
we could just have a new INSEP form that has the correct year on it, that would be awesome.
Well, I think we are doing a new one at the new fiscal year change. So,
Well, we're in the new
or
fiscal year.
well, for INSEP though.
Oh,
Federal,
INSEP,
yeah, October.
October.
Yes.
October, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once that changes, that'll be okay. Oh,
And
thank
it
you.
is a locked cell. So sorry.
It's locked up. Well,
One
that'll
other
change
thing
then.
I would ask when we have the meeting on September 10th is to think if you could let us know how many individuals from your organization would be there, just so that we can identify a room that would be big enough to hold everyone. I don't know if we would have the option, depending on the room, to do in person and some WebEx. We might. So, but if you could have a number for us, that would be great.
I'll have Trish put it on the director's meeting.
Okay, thanks.
Very good. And yes, thank you, Mary, too, for reminding me about that. It's like I remember that was an issue. Something was locked. All right. Well, any other questions, Cheryl? Do you have anything else?
No, that's what I needed to look up to
Okay.
make my mind remember that question.
Yeah, and there's there'll be more details and stuff that we'll cover as we go about this. And if there's information that I get, through emails, I'll try to forward as well. There's some good stuff still. Like I said, visit the Nutrition Resource Center, ACL's Nutrition Resource Center. Browse through there. There's so much great information. There's even stuff that talks about specifically INSEP. If you have questions on INSEP, with some of the new definitions and what that talks about, and we'll have some answers in the letter that you guys sent to, further delineate INSEP and what that means if you're not using INSEP or whatever. We'll have that stuff in there. But like I said, Nutrition Resource Center is great. And they've just got, you kind of go down a rabbit hole in that website because they have so much information, and they keep adding to it.
I went on that ACL site, and it just really confuses the mind on a lot of issues, especially with the new regs coming out.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of information on there. I suppose, well, I guess one of the biggest things was, if you have, well, I don't know. I mean, if you have a burning question on some of the changes, like to-go meals are going to be a thing, which are good. The definitions that go along with some of the things, some of those definitions are newer, which is great. And then I suppose if it's between, the three services, congregate meals, home delivered meals, and to-go meals, the nice thing is that there's funding in both C1 and C2 for doing the to-goes, and being able to just do more of them, which is nice. So they officially have adopted that service, which has been fantastic. I know a lot of you guys who are using them are enjoying them, and even just going on a monitoring visit recently, I saw people doing to-goes, and it looked great. So we're excited that that's a new service.
I just think it's going to be the SUA's interpretation of the guidelines that we're going to need.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and we'll have time to kind of work on that and go through those and work with you guys on, obviously, with nutrition and new definitions, how it fits into your service area. So yeah, for sure. All right. Well, if you guys have questions, send me an email. If not, get about 5 minutes more on your day, unless there's any other questions. All right. If not, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you later.
Yes, you too. Happy Labor
Thanks.
Day. Bye-bye.
Yes, that's right.
Bye.
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 Bye.